So, I just got done watching episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again, and my gosh, this episode did not have the right to be this good, man. If you're new, we're going to talk about spoilers. So, if you haven't seen the episode yet, go ahead and click up out of this video and come back after you watch it. Well, I don't even know where to begin. At the beginning of this episode, we see Matt starting to fall apart, emotionally and physically away from his girlfriend. All these things are starting to happen, and he's slowly starting to get back to being Daredevil. And it's kind of like Batman, man. It's hard to balance that personal life and then that vigilante life with Daredevil. So his girlfriend is starting to notice he's acting a lot weirder. Now, what I found interesting in this episode is how Bullseye, he literally, I may be wrong on this, but Bullseye asked Matt Murdock to come talk to him. And I really believe he had him come talk to him because he knew Matt would lose his cool and do something to him. And that would help him escape somehow. I'm not sure on that, but I feel like that's what that was going for. Is because Matt literally slammed his head in the desk. He loosened his teeth out. And Bullseye used his tooth to shoot somebody in the face with. Now that was crazy. I was not expecting that. But once I saw him move his tooth in his mouth and he spit it through the dude's face, I was like, that is crazy. But he is Bullseye. He don't miss it. Just wild. So that was a cool little scene. Then we start to uncover what's really happening. Matt Murdock thinks Kingpin hired Bullseye to kill Foggy. But turns out at the end of the episode, Vanessa is the one who hired Bullseye to kill Foggy. And I don't think Kingpin knows. Now, I know I'm jumping the course here. Just hang with me. I'm just going off with memory right now. Then also in this episode, we get to see, Kingpin actually shows Vanessa Adam that he's locked up downstairs. And, for a moment, I thought maybe she would let him out. But then she just ended up shooting him. And I was like, yeah, no happy ending for Adam. I feel bad for the dude, man. So crazy. R.I.P. Adam in the show. Because, man, that was brutal. And then we get to see the task force. The task force, they don't even operate as pretty much cops. They're pretty wild, I'm not going to lie. There was a reporter in that fancy thing that Kingpin had going on, and a reporter snuck a phone in, took some pictures. Fist told him to handle it, and my gosh, bro, put his hand right in frying grease. That was so crazy. Now, when we get to the event with Kingpin, Mayor, and Vanessa, I forgot what they call that thing. They had a lot of rich people in there going on. Kingpin throws out a thing. I forgot the guy's name, but he's one of the little rich guys. He calls him a vigilante in that he could actually send the task force to his place for probable cause. And so I couldn't really pick up on that. What vigilante is that guy doing? Because Kingpin called him out on it. So I was actually curious on that. And then we get to the point to where we see Kingpin and Matt Murdock. He shows up late. And, Matt Murdock, he figured out that Foggy died because Foggy knew he was winning. I forgot what case it was, but Foggy was winning the case. But that was until Vanessa had him killed. And, and Matt Murdock, he figured that out when he went back to the old bar that they were at in the first episode. And the lady behind the counter was telling him the drink that he was having. And he was like, he was celebrating. It clicked in his memory. And bam, he popped out. And he was like, he started to realize, he started to put all the pieces together. And now we get to the end of the episode where they're at that party. And, Kingpin actually has, I can't remember that lady's name, but her husband's name is Artemis, I believe. Nobody has seen Artemis, and she looked pretty spooked out of her mind. She looked like she was pretty scared. So I think Kingpin has gotten to her, and he's letting it know because he was calling people in that office, and he was telling them. And then we get to see Matt Murdock get to the party. Kingpin and Vanessa, you know, she's like, you're not acting yourself and all this and all that. And then Matt Murdock's like, let's go talk to Let's go talk to the mayor. You'll see why all this and all that. So they slowly start to get there. And then the little lights come on. They start dancing and then dancing. And then Vanessa says, I have to tell you something to Kingpin. And then Matt is like, one thing I will give this show, I love the fact that they show how Daredevil senses or how they're actually used. They do such a good job because, you know, I can't remember how the Netflix show did it. I don't know if it did it as good as this show, but I will give this show its props because it really shows Matt's senses on the big screen for us viewers to actually see like how it's working. So I really appreciate that, and I like that aspect of it. But Vanessa whispers that to Kingpin, and Kingpin's like not here because he knows Daredevil can hear him because they had that little brief conversation. He was like, I told you there would be consequences, devil. But he figures out Vanessa does it, and then, you know, Bullseye, he escapes being in the prison, shows up to that party, tries to shoot Mayor Fisk, but Matt Murdock takes the bullet for him. Now, that's what I found interesting. Because, well, you know what? I found it interesting at first, but once I started to think about it a little bit, he took that bullet because he knows Mayor Fisk didn't have Foggy killed. It was Vanessa. So, he wouldn't let anybody die anyways. But, so that's why he took that bullet for Fisk, because he thought Fisk is the one who had Foggy killed. But in reality, it was Vanessa. So he took that bullet for Fisk, and then the episode ends. This episode was good, man. I cannot wait until episode 9. My gosh, man. Such a good episode. If I was to give this anything out of a 10, I'm giving it a 10. I'm giving this episode a 10, man. I can't wait for next week's episode. And I believe we only have 9 episodes. So next week's episode is going to be the finale. It's crazy. Give me more. But yeah, man, I had a fun time with this episode, man. Like, this was a good episode. 10 out of 10, easy for me. Let me know what you guys think, man. What did you think about Daredevil episode 8? Let me know in the comments down below. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. 100,000 subscribers this round of time. Let's get it.